man, we back once again. This is Chris Gotti Lorenzo, my partner Don Dinero.
Hola, Mr. Money for the Gringos.
And we are here giving them the business once again, man. I want to shout out Bernard Hopkins, who I ran into out in L.A.
LA.
At the Pumps event. They had, shout out Dana Pump, again, an incredible event. Everybody was out there, but he was one of the people that came up to me and shouted out, giving him the business.
Out of here.
Oh, man, it fucked me up, but it made my whole day, man, because he was like, he loves the podcast. He loves what we doing. He was like, he wants to come on when he's in town. So, you know, B-Hop, you know what I mean? You definitely going to get the invite. When you in New York, let me know. We doing it. I'm also working on your documentary, man. Incredible story.
Dope. Incredible
story, incredible boxer, and now he's an incredible promoter. Great story, great person. Love seeing him out there in L.A., man. Just reconnecting.
I mean, that's dope. Where you know, again, we always tell an idea that we had a little bit. We go ahead and add a little fuel to the fire, manifest it, take action, and then it's gonna grow. You feel me? And and that's dope when you see it.
You know, once you start, you have to, and you can stay consistent. And we have been consistent. Every week we release episodes. I would say the
universe is consistently talking to us through other people.
Yes.
To say, hey, you're heading the right way. And that's that feeling is the universe through someone else said, hey, I love your show.
Yes.
That shit is dope. And you're like, okay. And
another person, again, Katino Mobley.
Dope.
Man, Katino Cini said he wants to be on. Shout out Katino Mobley. Cat, what up, boy? Another thing, if you like, subscribe, share what you see here, man. We're going to keep giving you dope content and breaking down different things. And for today's episode, I wanted to do one on my partner, Don Dinero.
Definitely.
So as you can see here, he wrote a book called La Formula or The Formula, a bilingual book. I don't know if people write in both languages. He is one of the few that I know absolutely can do that from his artist career, as well as now he is an official author.
Awesome.
I know that's a great accomplishment.
My own publishing company, you know, one of the main
and his
things,
own publishing company.
Those are things that I learned, not throughout my journey, but things that we preach.
Yes.
So we preach having your own, and why Adventures is so important, because it helps you keep your IP.
It's funny because you mentioned like what we preach, and I constantly get picked up by different people, approached by different people, and they want me to do record label business, let's call it.
Old business. And
I tell them I can't, because adventure music. I said adventure music is about the future. It's not about going backwards, it's going forward. It's changing what's existing. A system that should never be in place for us anymore. So we have to recreate it. And the more people understand that that's what we're doing with adventure music, I'm giving you a new business model, not just a distribution platform like all the other distribution companies. And I'm giving you education so you understand why you need this new model, right? They always say if it ain't broken, don't fix it. But to me, it's broken. I don't know why everyone wouldn't think it's not broken.
Right.
It only serves a very few compared to the amount of artists that there are today. Like what I'm talking about is universal. So when you say we practice what you preach, basically, so that's why everything you talk about, you wrote it down, but you also live it. I live what I say. So if I'm preaching something, I live by it. I don't hold myself at a different standard and say, oh, I could still do this if that. No, I will not do that.
You know, I mean, the art of manifesting, right? You know, I always, you know, when it comes to your brother, we discuss, even ourselves, but at the level that your brother, Jay, even Berner, I was with the other day.
Oh, everyone's successful.
I call them master manifestors, right? In the sense that there's a formula that we've all kind of created that we follow by. And there's a key word that's in that formula. It's called discipline. I think without discipline, you can't get through the hard times of it. And the reason I say that is, you know, it took me 11 years to put this book together. You know,
before we get into, because I know you're going to go in.
Right.
And I wanted to definitely introduce the book, put it up so everyone could see it if they don't see it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You hold the English one, I'm going to hold the Spanish one.
That's the Spanish one. This is the English, and that's the Spanish. As you see, it's not a big book.
And it's a short read. I wanted a short read. I didn't necessarily...
You're over there, Dinero.
Hey, I wanted a short read. You know, I didn't necessarily... I understood, and now we're going to talk the different versions of the book, right?
And what I want to talk about, again, First, congratulations.
Thank you.
Because I know this is a real accomplishment. And I know how long it took you.
Yeah.
We're going to get to it. You know, I challenged you.
Yes.
When you first brought this idea to me. But explain to the people what the formula is about. What is that title, the formula? Shout out Romeo Santos, Johnny Marines. They're dropping their album.
Yeah,
the
crazy.
formula, again, the universe is talking.
The universe is talking.
Right now it's coming out, same title, everything. His next album is called The Formula. This was not planned because Dinero, this book was in the making for how long?
Man, look, so in March of 2011, I got to tell the story. Because
no,
but
that's, okay, so that's why I
got
cannot.
10 years into my career.
Yes.
And me being the first guy to really come on the scene with my own label, with everything, from the beginning, I had a ton of people come at me, as you know, through the Murder Inc. story, come at you to say, hey, help me, this and that. So what I realized along my journey, that through hip-hop, through the 150 cities we did for 4 or 5 years.
Doing another 25 cities.
From 2015 to 2019, right before COVID hit, just running into so many people and understanding that the one common denominator we had was music,
right?
But that we were masking all our other problems, and the music was the outlet.
Yes.
So what I realized throughout the journey, I would tell people, they were like, they come up to me like, Dinero, whether it's to sign me in the era we were signing people or not, and they would, you know, like put their entire dream on me. Like, if I don't sign you today, what happens? Do you give up? Like, you know, I have these questions for people, like, how many no's is it going to take before you give up?
No one knows that answer till they get to that last no.
Some people
and
be
they
like,
break.
Listen, they don't know the answer to you. Ask them the question, and they realize, fuck, it only took me 7 no's.
Right.
They'll sit back and say, damn it, I gave up on my dream with 7 no's.
Right.
Right? How many no's is it going to take before you get the one yes?
Well, I understand that number varies for every person.
True. But how many no's also, now here's the other part, how many no's, if you don't give up, how many no's is it going to take before you get that one yes?
Yes.
And the only reason I say that is because throughout this journey, getting to this book, and I met, when you challenged me in 2015, right, the book only had the lessons. In 2011, I wanted to write something
I still have that
that were
email
almost
you
like
sent
the
me.
10 Commandments, but it was different. It helped humanity, and it didn't matter if it was 1980 or 2080, it would apply in your life to everyone. It didn't matter if you were a Christian, a Jew, a Muslim, or whatever.
Right.
Because I felt I had. You always say something. You say, and it's 100% true. You have probably spoken to more artists than any other exec on the planet.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I listen to more music than
right.
anyone.
So on this journey with you, the last 7 years with artists, besides my journey, I would concur that I'm probably right behind you somewhere, right? And just dealing with people and the Latinos. And what I've noticed is that we all still have a dream to pick, but then we have life to live.
Right.
And this formula, I'm not telling you how to get rich in real estate. I'm not showing you how to own, operate, or monetize the music. We do that. I'm really showing you the other source of the day-to-day. How do you get through life day-to-day on a positive aspect when things are coming at you all the time?
And that's what I wanted to get to, because what is the formula? Like, the name of the book is The Formula, so what is that formula?
Well, I created 16 lessons that when applied in your life, you can live a fruitful, you'll understand so many things in your life, and you'll get closer to what your true destiny is to fulfill it, to find who you truly, what are you truly
Why
supposed
are
to be.
you here?
Why are you here? And the signs are always there. You know why when you call so many of these young men and women, and they come and they film with us or they go on tour with us?
Yeah.
But sometimes they have to go back to their lives.
Yes.
This is an escape, because deep down inside, they wish they can earn a living, a true living, a really good living, doing what they love, because this is what they love. And us as bosses and leaders is what we're trying to do for them as we're building our companies, correct?
Yep.
So that's an example of when they go back. You know how many times Ish, I love Ish because Ish has been through his journeys. And Ish recently had a baby, or not
Shout
his
out
first
Ish.
child, but if I'm not mistaken, his second child. But I remember him coming to the house in Bloomfield.
Shot by Ashan.
I'm coming to his house in Bloomfield. We met. I remember when I first met Ish. One of the artists brought him.
Yeah.
And we were doing.
I remember too.
We were doing the Spick album.
Yes.
And this motherfucker had his camera. This is where I fuck with Ish. He had his camera. He just started shooting. We let anybody shoot. We need content.
Sure.
The next day, the nigga sent me a fucking video.
Yeah.
A video. Now, he had us outside performing, and we did our stuff, but I'm not thinking. The next day, which the video's up, you know?
Yeah, he gets busy.
Right, and then I showed it to you. I was like, look what this kid did right away.
Yeah, you told me.
He was like, will he go on tour? Because you're a beast. I was like, let's talk to him. So he lives all the way in bumfuck Egypt, right? So, no, and at the situation, he didn't have his whip, he didn't have his thing. He found his girl would bring him to the house in Bloomfield. He would hit the road with us, and then Dex broke him in right. Dex had him doing certain things, and then I remember in a conversation I had with him,
Dex tried to break him.
Yeah, but I had a conversation with him, and Ish, what I love about Ish is that he truly loves creating.
Oh, yeah.
He's a true artist. He also raps. He does so. I say, yo, do what these other guys aren't doing. You see everyone sleeping? You work. Deliver before. And it's what he did. That's how he beat everyone. He was like, that's all it is? I was like, yeah. He goes, that's all it is? Yeah, just put in that extra work. When they're sleeping, you don't sleep. Yeah. We go back to the hotel. And
yeah, we had good times on that road.
Oh, man. Incredible learning times. A lot of them are here.
Sure.
I think Rez and his people are about to jump. Oh, boy.
What's that? Kingdom Come Media.
But the thing is that in the conversations I would have with Ish, I would drop jewels on Ish. That when he would go home and not be with us, he would try to apply it in the chaos that he was living.
Yeah.
And it helped him. So when he has the baby with his girl, they call me on FaceTime. You know it's love and respect when they're calling him and they just want to say hi and show the baby. Look how far we've come. And it was a way without saying, because Ish does not allow with words.
Yeah.
This is not, like, I'm allowed, this is what I do. They're saying, thank you, OG, like, thank you for these words of wisdom.
So when the 16 formulas get put together, how do you choose, let's call it, so what is 16? So what were those 16 rules or laws, let's say?
Well, you know,
what did you call those 16
I didn't necessarily know
ideas?
they were going to be at 16. You know, people associate my number. Everyone said, why didn't you do 17? Because that's my number. 11. Again, it ended up at 16. It has something to do with the number 7. Mm-hmm. How we add is
1 and 6
is 7. So, but I really, I stopped at 16. I probably could have done 60, right?
Right.
But I wanted to keep it short so that I try to kind of just condense everything that I thought, as much knowledge as I can put out in a small book. But besides the book, as we know, we have the spoken word audio that's going to come through our ventures and the animation series. And we'll discuss that as we go. But I created 16. Like, lesson number 1 basically talks about us needing each other as human beings.
Right.
Of the purpose of going to get an education, whether it's a master's or a PhD. Most people who have a PhD as a master's, what are they doing? They're teaching. Mm-hmm. Whether it's at a high school, at a university. Your whole objective of learning is to teach the one next to you who doesn't know. Now, you can't, if you learn how to be a cinematographer or a rapper, you know, you're most likely going to hang around with those people. It's going to be hard for you to hang around with 2 cooks and a butcher. Right. And you're just doing cinema. It's not, no. 2 cooks and a butcher hanging out with other cooks and butchers, and they're figuring out how, right? You have to hang around, put yourself in that circle. Sure. You know, but, you know, we all need each other. You know, as human beings, we couldn't do, why would we do this podcast if we weren't thinking about an audience? Thanks. We couldn't do this podcast without the ones behind that are not in front of this camera, right? So it teaches us very important that from the day you were born, the first 7 days of your life, 7 years, you learned how to walk, talk, read, write. You learned how to tie your sneaker or your shoes. You learned how to take a shower on your own. Those first 7 years, but all those things you learned was taught by somebody else.
So when you bring up the first 7 years, I have read from different scientists, that's the most important years of your life. And it's weird because when I read the book, I seen you said 7 years, and I'm wondering if you did the research, or is this just
I did the
did you do the research, or is this just you of your own, like,
my
intellectual?
My research is spiritual.
Okay.
So I know how. Remember, we're all spiritual creatures having a human experience.
7 years.
So by the time it's 7, the reason you understand or you start to build your character, if you have the right supporting cast, someone taught you how to walk by letting you go and falling. You might have learned, if your mom picked you up too soon, you might have learned how to, oh, if I cry, I get something right. Those things that you learn. So by the time you are 7, you actually are who you're going to be
for the rest of your life.
And whatever's added on to it could be damage.
Yes.
Could be at that moment something.
I know people don't believe that, and it's so weird because
they're not taught, they're programmed differently.
But that's exactly what I read.
Right.
That first 7 years is exactly.
But it's the spirit. Okay. Let's get into this real quick.
But yeah, I just because I was very curious about that 7 because you picked it out, and I said, damn, I wonder if he did research and read something like I did before.
I noticed that a lot of things that I say,
number.
The irony is that a lot of things that I say, there's a lot of science to back it up.
And you didn't get it from there.
No. It's a blessing that I got it. The way they got it, I got it.
Right.
I got it from God, is what I'm saying, right? You understand? It's a whole different ballgame. The philosophies and the science and the things that I'm aware of that are going on around us,
but just
at a different level.
That was something that really, I never really dove in with you about, but it was something that always resonated because when I read that, I really started thinking about the kids. I have 2 grandkids now, so I keep telling my son, this is everything right now. The more you treat them, anyone with kids, the more you talk to them, and they are a sponge right now. It's between 0 to 7, like from 1 to 7, that age time frame. Everything you do, they're watching, observing, and learning, and everything is the rest of their life. It's like the way they say we're built is that your brain holds that part that you learned from 1 to 7 for the rest of your life. And like you said, you add on to it and you could do things, but that's the core basis of who you are. So, if like you always mention, you always
have to be a racist to know that when you ran in the supermarket to play with you're 3 years old, you played with the little dark-skinned boy, your mom grabbed you and said, come over here. She didn't have to say anything for you to realize, I'm not supposed to do that.
Or you always talk about Ever needs a hug, right?
Simple, yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's because he wasn't hugged as a kid.
Maybe that could have happened. But let's get
that
even
could
deeper.
That could be part of why he needs the hug now because he reacts with that.
The blessing of knowing.
I'm like, you home, homie. You free.
My daughter now is about Desiree is almost 6 months pregnant now.
Yes.
And we're starting the womb. From the womb.
Yes.
We are starting to put in the positive energy.
Sure.
To put in the expectations of greatness. To how we even name your child has to do a lot. If you name him Lil Bobby or Billy, he's gonna be a Billy.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? No, besides getting names, my dad's name was Billy. That's different. But what I mean is that even the name that you pick, for how the energy between the mother and the father is at the moment, how you speak it, right? Because that's really 0. It's already. That's why they have these laws that passing. It's already there. But
do you have, again, just to go back to the book with these laws, like you just said, that these 16 lessons, are they named or titled? Each lesson.
Yes.
Is it a name to each lesson, or is it just a number?
Lesson number 1, and then it has the actual lesson, and then the lesson is broken down. That's why
I only mention that.
That's why at the end of the book I put notes. So, for example, lesson number 1 that we're discussing says, you should always seek knowledge. You must learn in order to teach your brothers and sisters. So if you're out there seeking knowledge and you snatch some knowledge up,
you got to pass it.
You got to come back and bring
it.
You have to. It's your duty. Love each other unconditionally. We all need each other to survive. So, and then I break down the lesson, but that is the true lesson. You feel me? Now, how you apply it within your life is
up to you.
But then when I break down the lessons, I say that everything you've learned up to age 7, you learned how to tie your shoe. You went to school.
Was taught
you learned how to read and write already by 7. Right? You learn how to take a shower on your own or a bath. You learn how to go to the bathroom on your own, how to wipe your...
That's good.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So to me, that's where we're at when it comes to, not just lesson number one, like really from the beginning, we are here on a journey. I'm just trying to pass along this small book that you can continuously go to. There's so many different parts of these lessons that, I could grab any lesson and go in it.
Okay, I was just going to ask you, do you have a favorite lesson?
Oof.
Like one that really resonates with you personally? Because I believe after reading it, and not only reading it, but watching the animation, which is even more dope than the book itself, like to me, because now that's when we could touch on all the kids. Someone could just watch this, get all this information and knowledge, this wisdom to lead their own life in betterment. And then one of the things I think we should do with you is like you should have a campaign set up, right? Of pick which is your favorite lesson. And see who everyone put their little survey in basically and say lesson number 4, lesson number 7, 16.
What I'm trying to do is now we have physicals, and now I'm gonna give these books out, sign them, and then I'm gonna have people read out the lesson that they like. Send me a video of them reading that lesson, and I'm gonna post that as a promo.
Ah, there you go.
So we're gonna go.
That's basically what I'm talking about.
Yeah. We're gonna definitely do that. But you know what's crazy, Chris? It's like it's hard to say I have a specific favorite lesson. I think that because we are all in different chapters of the book in our lives, we're all in different levels of this journey in life. Some of us are in the freshman level, like high school. Some of us are seniors. Some of us are juniors, right? I think that there will be a different lesson that will resonate with you at a certain
That's
moment.
why I want to find out. But again, we're older. Your life has been lived already. You have certain things you did already. So one of these lessons might resonate with you more so because of your life and your lifestyle and everything than the other. And that's what I was trying to get to.
No, I'm with you, and then I'm trying to figure out which one.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, it's not, for example, music. I look at this like a 16-song album.
Yes.
And you're asking me which is your favorite record, and I'm like, fuck. You get what I'm saying?
But if you had an album, you would
pick
your
favorite. I would. I'm trying to go back and say.
I asked any artist, they're going to tell you.
But that's
typically that song is not the favorite song or the most popular song.
I would probably, then I would be the last one. Lesson number 16, because I discuss about taking care of your body. It's the only one you have. Be careful the foods you put into your body.
Yeah.
And be careful of surrounding yourself around people who make you anxious or nervous, right? There's an energy field there that you're not.
Hear that, Dex?
Exactly. You're not going to be able to perform, and don't be motivated by lust.
What?
By lust, greed, or revenge, right? Those lesson 16 to me is important because.
Say those again. Lust,
greed, or revenge.
Two out of 3 ain't bad.
Right. No, but what I mean by that is, you could say greed in different situations where you can break more bread with someone and you don't. That has an effect later on. Like there's things that I put in this book because we're all living in this mystical world of karma. And we don't see it, but we are. We're carrying two buckets with us.
Yeah.
And the bucket of the good you're doing on a daily basis and the bucket of the bad.
Some
guys got this bucket of the shit they're doing consistently, and they don't know. They only know how to throw in that bucket. They've never tried to get in a place to do good for someone. To do the right thing would be the toughest decision you will have to do every day. But it's a habitual. See, us, when we talk, we always say, and it's like, why can't they be like us? And I try to tell you, it's like Michael Jordan telling you, man, just jump off the foul line and fucking dunk it. And stick your tongue out. What do you mean you can't do it? You be like, nigga, you Michael. I know, watch, let me show you how to do it. And he does it every time. And he's trying to show you, and you're like, nah, I can't do that. That's what we do.
Show me Michael again.
Yo, so what I'm saying is that, it's the same thing as far as really, so as a leader, I write these books because I don't expect, I apply this and it's hard being right, but I have a key word that I use in my life on a consistent basis, which is discipline. Without discipline, you cannot accomplish any of your goals. You feel me? And a lot of us
most people have discipline.
Huh?
Does most people have discipline?
I think a majority of the people lack discipline if they realize that is the only thing they need. Discipline and fearless. That means you're not scared to fail. you will crush every fucking dream and every goal you ever want.
Those are two huge qualities. If you got them, you're fucking Gucci.
And you see them all the time. Look at the people who are winning.
The winning people.
They have that.
Yes.
And most of the times, they're doing things that take discipline when no one's looking at them.
The majority is
you see LeBron in the games, or you see athletes, or you see your brother. They see the movie.
Yeah.
They don't see all the craziness that goes behind the scenes that he has to grind. They see you building adventures. They don't see us on the road. Oh, the shit we got to get the bread. And so the sponsors, the convincing the next guy of your idea and your vision is one of the toughest things you're going to have to do.
Yeah.
I feel like I was a president right now speaking. It's probably going to be one of the toughest things you're going to have to do, and we're all doing it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Everlast has incredible movies.
And
so
books.
Everyone here has something they're trying to put out into humanity, and they're supporting us. This is actually the formula.
Yeah.
I want to ask everyone
his real always wins.
If you're looking at me, I want to ask you a serious question, and I'll see if you can answer this. You're telling me you have a dream that you want to come true, but you're not supporting anyone in their dream. You're not helping anyone make their dreams come true, but you want your dream to come true by any means necessary. You don't care.
Hook or crook.
Oof, my God. Good luck, God bless. The key to making your dreams come true is helping everyone else make their dreams come true. And I'm a definitely, and you are, we're definitely walking. We have people in positions who might be even better than us right now.
Facts.
Based on just that little push. Now, if I get you in the building and you own the building, I don't take credit for that. But if you're in front of the building and you don't say, hey, Dinero's the guy who just
got me in,
then I'm okay. You just showed me who you are. So my karma stays good. You're going to add one to your shitty bucket, whether you see it or not. No, it is. And when you're kids, you might be enough, but this is a trickle effect. Now, your son wants to get into a certain school because if he gets into the school, the prestige that your family goes, nah, homie, he's going to Bronx community. Because it just works that way. There's a trickle effect when it comes. And I try to show this in the formula and give you little hacks and insights of don't go where you're not invited to.
Right.
If you're home on a Friday night and you got a whole bunch of money and no promoter invited you nowhere, don't just say, hey, let's just go to this club. Because that's usually when one of your boys gets shot. That's usually when the cops, like you weren't supposed to be over there. And you went somewhere already just because. Now, if your name's on the flyer or the DJ invited you or it's your boy's birthday party and they're expecting you, vaya con Dios, you're going to be okay. But majority of the things that happen to people at night, when the shit is, you feel me, the moon is full.
Freaks come out at night.
Okay, it's because they were going somewhere they weren't invited.
It could get spooky.
It has gotten and it will get. It's just the way. There's just certain universal laws.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to hit people to that aspect. And if they, if they can't, for any reason, buy the book, listen to the spoken word. It'll be on all digital platforms from midnight, September 27th through Adventure Music. And then we're going to load the spoken word. The introduction is up there now, and I'm talking in front of it to kind of lead it in English and Spanish. And then we're going to add the first week. It'll be lesson 1. It'll be up. And for 16 weeks, we will add an animation lesson as we go. I have a total of 34 videos.
Woof.
Ready to go. But it's the first time in my life that I feel like I'm truly going to help humanity with something. And this is like a paradigm shift for me.
Yes. It's a new journey for you.
It's a new journey, but I think you've helped this journey by not just guiding me, by putting me in front of an audience when I would speak. Like you would even say, damn, Dinero, even when we would just speak in those seminars, you would say, you got away with words, but right? So, and through that, it gave me the confidence.
And it's not only a way with words, you have a perspective. You put things in a different perspective that's very clear.
In a practical manner that makes sense.
In a very clear way to make someone understand it. And that's what resonates with me, with you so much, because when we talk, I mean, you simplify a conversation. You put it in layman terms, that's what they call it, which is just simplifying something so that anyone could understand it.
I mean, I want to thank you also because of you know, your confidence of you bringing me on board and us doing all these seminars and you having the confidence in me. And when I showed you the book, you said, this is great, but you need to break down every lesson. And I looked at this motherfucker. Right? And then, I don't know how to type, so I ended up writing, which we have the entire book in writing, actual paper. And then once we got to that part, the audiobook was easy. I had to get my team, Richie in the Brain, to do all the scoring.
Shout out Richie in the Brain.
Richie, my brother.
Incredible job.
Definitely. And
incredible job.
And then we
scoring.
Had the scoring. I mean, he knew because he did He did different scoring for the English and for the Spanish. It's not the same scoring, even though the animation is the same. But I only did the animation because you was like, after we did the audio, you was like, man, maybe we should take this to Irv and we'll do a 16-thing series and we'll break. And I was like, shit, that'll be done in 2030. I was like, right? So I was like, how do I do something similar where we tell the story? And then I found this great animation company, feel me? And, you know, the people were dope and we were able to go ahead and get it done. And that took another 3 or 4 years to get done.
That's great. And it's great. I mean, when people
but listen, this is the dope. This is the problem. I never forget because then we did the English and then we had to do the Spanish. The rescoring. So I never forget the last 2 animation. You was like, oh, the intro's dope for the audio. You should do the animation.
Yeah.
When we finally finished that I got the Spanish one, it was the first week of January. It's 2022. Mind you, I have no publishing deal. Right. I don't know how the book physical. We don't understand the business yet. We're trying to figure out. You're calling business. Mad people for me. You're making, and you was like, yo, talk to Irv. I spoke to Irv. I showed him the animation. He says he has someone, and in that same time, we're talking about doing something with James and James calls me the next day, and I was like, yo, Irv's gonna help me with the book. He's like, no, I got somebody for you. He introduces me to Peter.
Peter, yes.
And my first
James
conversation
Cruz.
with Peter, yes, James Cruz.
Yeah.
That first conversation with Peter is in late March. Then we have a FaceTime in April after he reads the book, and he's like, yo, this is incredible. And that was another one to say, hey, we're in the right path. He's like, hey, I'm going to show you how you're going to own your... I said, you're talking like my brother, Chris Gotti. I'm going to show you how you operate. And so I learned that if you sign with a publishing company, right. They give you if they would have gave us a check, right, you would turn around and they say, yeah, I got you a check for this book. The minute they gave us the check, they could have changed the title. They could have said, hey, we're not going to call it the formula because Romeo Santos has the formula. Yeah. We got to call it something else. Oh, by the way, this is not enough. And then they own it, and they own your author rights for life.
For life.
So he saved me from that. Thank you, Peter. Helped me with my own pub company. And then me and you with the countless hours of figuring it out, we told Peter, by the way, we're not giving you the audiobook. Like, we're going to keep, like we kind of, now we know the business. That's what Peter messes with us because we're like, this is what we want to do.
And it's different.
And I remember when Peter asked me for price points, I was like, no, I want this price point. That's kind of high, so ask for high. And Amazon said, okay. So he loves the dynamic me and you have.
Sure.
He's helped me so much. And the book drops the 27th, but like we said, that's just the beginning of us.
September 27th.
September 27th.
So we got.
But that's really the beginning of.
That's when it official drops.
The official, physical, and everything else will be out there. The first lesson will be on animation. But I think that's when we're really going to start going hard. And as we start preparing our own tours and the stuff we're trying to do, the great dynamic of us going on tour with Adventure Now, not just having Clash TV come along and us streaming it live, it's us, me, being able to tell the people to say, hey, besides music, you can give us your spoken. If you have a book or a spoken, you understand that kind of, because we're dropping a spoken word book through Adventures Now, which is the first one. This is new for us.
Which is everything.
And it's new, and it's in English and Spanish. That's another thing Peter said. It's really 2 books. That's why he made me, I didn't know. I was like, hey, he made me change the color.
2 covers.
He made me change the color.
Yes.
This is when you have good people advising you and people kind of, he says, because it's 2 books. He says, you're giving me 2 books. We don't know. Maybe the Spanish book becomes a bestseller in the English. I don't know.
Right.
Right? But the coming to the game with 2 books, animation, I think that I've shocked a few people. I have a few people who have read it, who have masters in writing, who have said, wow. I'm going into a space where everyone has a PhD or writers. That's what makes them a speaker. And here I am with a high school diploma. and I don't even have a Grammy, right? But I told you, Chris, put me on stage, and when I open my mouth, I'm crushing everybody.
It's been like that since we met.
Right? And I feel the way I felt 20 years ago on September 17th. The irony was when I dropped, which we didn't put up today, the Que Vola album. My 20th anniversary is September 17th, and I feel the same way I feel the year that album dropped, when no one was, every time I play in Pana Pana, they said, this song is incredible, but how are we going to get it? Right? Because we sing incredible, but how are we going to get it to the masses is what me and you are on at this moment.
Always.
Why are we doing this podcast? Is to try to let you know, guys, listen, I have a book that can help you through this journey you're going through in life. And if you understand what me and Chris, these two OGs, are always about, was always trying to help you and give you game. But this might be, to me, the greatest game I can give you is the formula.
Man.
Because if you read it, even if you don't read it, you don't want to buy the book, it's on pre-sale. I'm cool with it. Go stream it.
Go watch it.
Go Spotify. Go watch the video, because it's going to help you. One of those lessons is going to hit you right, and you'll be like, damn, I'm going through this right now. Everyone that's ready gives me that response. Yes.
So I want to end on that note. Before I do, is there any other part of the book you wanted to mention that may not have been spoken about? Because we really touched on a lot of the book.
Man,
and the reason why it was made, and it will help anyone that reads it. So please go get it. Anyone watching this podcast, go get the book, The Formula. It'll be out everywhere. Go watch the illustrations of each lesson, which is incredible, narrated by yourself, scored by Richie and his guys. Man, incredible body of work put together. I'm super proud of you, brother.
Thank you, my brother.
And again, just watching you do it, every time I challenged you, you came back with the answer. And I'm telling you, people don't do that. People don't do that. You could have easily said, nah, this is it. You took not only the challenge of me challenging you,
if they only knew the true story behind the animation, which you're never gonna let them know, then that's a whole different subject.
But you challenged it. Like I challenged you. You digested it, and then you said, you know what? You're right. Let me go and do this. Because you have to see it as the creator. It's not like I could just tell you to do something. You do it. No, you have your own brain. You know what you want and your own vision.
I also, you're a person that, and I always told you, out of the few people I've met on this planet, you're one of the few people I would follow and really take advice.
Yes.
If you know your brother Irv, it's hard to give him advice, right?
Yeah.
I'm one of those, right? It's hard to give me advice, but when you say something, I can see it, because I know we're painting at the same dimension. We're taking these quantum leaps together, right. And I'm like, oh, I see it. I'll be right back, right? So, and then I try to up you one. Yes. The animation, you're like, damn, motherfucker, yeah. I didn't see it. But that's the back and forth when you have steel sharpens steel, someone great next to you,
sure,
who you know is going to lead you down the right path. And then I'm also one that would be like, nah, I could always explain when I tell you no as to why I don't want to do something.
Right.
And you're like, okay, I can agree with that.
I get that. Yeah.
So that building is always incredible, and this book wouldn't be this book without you.
Yeah,
you challenged me to take it from lessons to a book.
Yes.
And then you're the one, until you remember, you're like, I know you're going to do it in Spanish too. And you're like, oh, yeah. Right, and it was like, I didn't really, at that moment, I wanted to say F you too.
But you're the president of the Latin division for Adventure Music, so it's almost automatic. Again, we said we live by what we preach. So if that's who you are, how can you not have a Latin book?
And then I upped you one, and then I said, yeah, and then we're gonna do it like this, and when the book gets right, we're gonna put it out in Mandarin.
Oh yeah,
we'll put
everything,
it out in different
all languages, because this is something that will help anyone that reads it.
Oh, that's the whole.
And that is the key. It's a short read. Go get it. And then digest it. Understand what he's saying. Listen to the words you're saying, and then applying it. Because once you hear the words, it's another thing, but to apply it is the next step. So you have to apply what you're saying and how to actually manifest the things.
When I tell you in the book, take care of your body, it's the only one you're ever gonna get that has to resonate.
Has to.
Then you'll be like, oh shit, that's true. You don't get another body. This is the life this body is the life you get with it.
That's it.
Take care of it, right? That's one of in every aspect, physically, mentally,
treat it right, and it'll treat you right. But again, thank you.
Super grateful,
Don Dinero.
Chris.
I appreciate this. Again, everybody go get it. This is Giving Them the Business. This is Chris Gotti, Lorenzo, Don Dinero.
The Formula. 16 Lessons for Life.
Go get it.
Cuban Connection 717.com. Go get it. Like, subscribe.
Share.
Giving Them the Business.
Yes. And share it.
Squeaky.
Squiggy.